So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called A Cold Wind in August, 1961. It's the first cult movie to be condemned by the Catholic Church's Legion of Decency, and it's one of John Waters' guilty pleasures, according to his Psychotronic video guide. For me, it was too melodramatic. It's supposed to be a cheap-looking exploitation flick, low budget, from 1961. There's a lot of off-screen nudity and implied sex, but it's pretty tame when you consider when it was made in 1961. Peeping Tom is probably more indecent than this one, for instance, or perhaps even Psycho. So, calling this one indecent probably increased the ticket sales for the exploitation director, or the distributors, I should say, producers. And it's basically about a burlesque dancer. I used to live with a burlesque dancer. I don't know what the big deal is. She never paid me no never mind. So this burlesque dancer, she lives in an apartment building with a 17-year-old kid who knows how to fix her busted air conditioner. Her older boyfriend supposedly sold the wholesale air conditioner to her, probably ripped it off, and yeah, who knows what his real work is, but she pretty much keeps it a secret from her underage boyfriend. She slips him Bloody Mary, gets him to kiss, even though she's much older. They made a big deal out of this because there was only 7 years age difference between the 30-year-old the 30-year-old teenager and the older burlesque dancer in reality. But he looked like a believable teenager guy. I didn't think he looked like a 30-year-old teenager necessarily. He was fidgety. They were saying that he wasn't as good an actor, and he shouldn't have been paired up with the blondie burlesque dancer, whatever her name is. Yeah, she's not very attractive. I can't really say I like this movie. I mean, it just kind of plodded along. There wasn't any big moment that I could pinpoint to that really grabbed me or shocked me or whatever. So I wouldn't say that it was particularly indecent by today's standards, but 1961 standards is it's pretty tame. Everything's off screen and implied, much like censorship in the 40s and whatnot. So it was already heavily censored to begin with, just by the nature of the film itself. They got away with shooting nudity in Peeping Tom, and then there's a famous shower scene in Psycho, which is much more indecent than anything in this movie. So I don't know what the big deal is, but it's not a particularly enjoyable movie to begin with. It's mostly a melodrama. I think Netflix calls it a romantic comedy. This burlesque dancer has been married 3 times. She's trying to find the perfect guy, and as soon as as soon as the 17-year-old boy finds out that she's a burlesque dancer, he actually goes to one of her shows with his friends, and he's all embarrassed. He says he feels dirty, and yeah, whatever, because the other guys are looking at him. I once had a friend like that in Mountain View named Pie Man. We'd go to these strip clubs, and then he said he didn't like other guys staring at these naked women, and the burlesque dancers, they're pretty much covered up in this one, so you don't have the tassels or anything like that. So yeah, I guess it didn't progress that far yet in 1961, but in any case, not an enjoyable movie. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's kind of yeah, it's a way to take up your time. Of course, it's shot in black and white. If you have nothing better to do, you can watch it. But I would recommend this movie. Just I don't know. To me, it was Much Ado About Nothing. Pretty much. I don't know why John Waters likes it so much. I guess because it's 1961 and they got away with this kind of storyline. So, anyways, I'm done with my review laters.